Good evening, welcome back to United TV. Today we're going to be covering a few stories. One of them, I just saw this about 2 minutes ago, which is surprising because apparently Spurs are happy to spend 85 million on Matheus Fernandes. If that's true, that could be a big problem for Man United. Tonight I'm joined by Dora. So before we go into the stories, welcome Dora. I hope you're good where you are. I know you're looking forward to the Croatia game, which is what 1 a.m. where you are, so a bit of a wait, but we got the England game at 9. How are you feeling?
Yeah, thank you for asking. It's really hot. AC is working nonstop. So yeah, I've been, watching World Cup games when I can, but the midnight ones or after midnight ones, like I can't, like I simply can't stay awake. So I will, go like just because I will get nervous and I will feel guilty if I don't watch the game. I'm seriously watching for that. So yeah, I will probably watch the game tonight. But yeah, go Croatia! Yay! Um,
You should do
but
well though.
yeah,
You should be at least a few goals tonight, I think.
yeah. Hopefully, we will see. We will see. They will probably, put everyone behind the ball, but I think we can break them. So yeah, we will see.
Right, we're going to go into the stories, and I said for me, I've just seen this, so I'm responding to it kind of as a kind of just thinking what is going on. But the Matheus Fernandes story, we know that West Ham apparently won 85 million. This is just literally about, I don't know, 10 minutes ago, just as I was about to sort of like start going, I just put this picture in because I just saw this on Twitter just now. And apparently Spurs are ready to meet West Ham's asking price, 85 million for Matheus Fernandes. Does this mean he's going to go to Spurs, or do you think this is a case of? Do you remember last year when Benjamin Sesko and we saw big offers from Newcastle, but he wasn't interested?
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen? Because it doesn't mean it's going to go to Spurs. It just means Spurs are making a crazy bid.
I think they're trying really hard this summer. Like not even just United target. I mean, to be fair, everyone is looking at the same targets, especially if the players played well last season. But it feels like they're throwing money at the wall and hope something sticks. It looks like desperation, just as you said, like Newcastle last season. It really looks desperate. I mean, they did sign Van den Hecke from Brighton. I'm not sure who else. I know that guy from Bournemouth that was already known even before the season ended. But yeah, we will see. Like I mean, I hope it's the case of okay, they West Ham, accepts the deal, but hopefully he says no, and he says, "Look, I'm waiting for United," and simply forces to move to United like Sheshko did. So we will see. We will see. I like him as a player. I would love to have him. We, I mean, we already agreed to signing Ederson. If we get him, or maybe someone else in the midfield, or I saw some, Lewis Hall, rumors as well. It would be a great summer window if we sign. I said before the season ended, if we sign 2 or 3 midfielders, I think that is a very good transfer window. Plus someone else because we still need players in some other positions. But yeah, I like Fernandez, and hopefully he chooses United.
I was thinking that with this one, that Red Time says I think Spurs are being used by West Ham to make United panic buy him. This just reminds me so much of like the Newcastle situation last year
Yeah.
when Newcastle offered Sesko a better contract and they offered Sesko more money. I just can't really. I know I'm a Man United fan, and I don't think there's any Spurs fans watching, so they're not going to have their say, unfortunately. But I just cannot see Matheus Fernandes looking at Man United, looking at Spurs, and going, "Yeah, I fancy like a relegation fight." Like Spurs have been what 16th, 17th last 2 seasons. I,
Yeah.
I know that they've got some money to spend apparently, but it just seems crazy that it doesn't mean he's going to choose them, but it does mean that. Do you think this is like a genuine thing? I know that the journalist is obviously like a credible source, but do you think Spurs are like a serious contender? Because I kind of dismiss Spurs a little bit, but you're just saying Spurs have got money to go crazy, but Tonali is a player they've offered 75 million for, so it seems Spurs got money to spend. Like
Yeah.
so Yannis saying they can spend a lot. They are one of these teams that doesn't spend a lot of salary on salaries comparative to how much money it brings in. But I don't know. Do you see Matheus Fernandes? choosing Spurs? I mean, I'm obviously biased, so I can't see it, but can you see it?
I mean, maybe if he gets offered insane money, but I doubt that. Or maybe I don't know how. I think when clubs sign young players these days, they get what 5, 6 seasons, 5, 6, maybe years on the contract. Maybe he wants the security, but I think United would do the same. Maybe they do a massive wage offer or something, but with this kind of money, I don't think so. So I mean, as you said, you're biased. I'm biased as well, right? Like I don't believe that Spurs have more transfer power than Manchester United. Like we were third last season, despite everything, they still need to sign at least 8 players. Most of them, going into the starting 11 because they were so poor. Like not just they had a lot of injuries, but genuinely their players weren't good enough. Hence why they were, in the relegation battle. Do I believe that they're going to be contending all of a sudden for Champions League places? I don't believe so. Like, I mean, I know the Zerbi, even though I don't like him particularly. I know that he is a solid coach, but like expecting them going from 17th to 4th, third, it's insane. I think if they get top 10, I think that will be, or maybe a Conference League, maybe a Europa League, who knows. I think that will be good for them. But we are in the Champions League, we are third, we have something going on. He's going to have a place in the team immediately, and I think he would be insane to choose Spurs over United, honestly, because if we had, for example, young Casemiro of 25 years, and we are trying to sign a squad player in Mateus Fernandes, right? I would get him, I want to play in the first team. He will probably play in first team in Spurs, but you still have, their players there still. I think they have more, midfield players than United at this point. So I just feel this is a chance that you don't, you don't miss, and you sign for United, who are in much better position right now than Spurs. So yeah, we will see. I mean, there is probably a truth in what one person in the comments said about West Ham trying to leverage him being. I mean, they got relegated, right? So you expect, okay, he will be cheaper, but they want insane money for him still, despite him, them being relegated. So to me, they just want more money. If they agree and he says no, they can do anything about it. So it will be
I know,
interesting to
because
see.
one of the things I saw was like one of the journalists said that he's going to go where the best offer is, which is completely different to what Mbeumo said last year. And this isn't a player that Man United have tracked for several years, like Sesko either. I'll go for a few of the comments because people have got different opinions on this. James, welcome to the chat, James. He says he's going to still end up at United, and he says who's going to want to play for Spurs? Not even in Europe. And he said people need to be patient. I mean, you have to be patient for Man United fans. It's so slow. Berber said that he's predicted a Spurs splashing the cash, saying they won't want another season, like not another relegation fighting season for Spurs. Jim says it's okay saying it's the same as Sesko last season, but the problem is Sesko didn't have Mendes as an agent pushing it. I suppose no, Sesko had the decision to make where he's going to go. The same, like the power is in Fernandes' hand, isn't it? So I'm not sure whether that's why I was trying to guess and saying if you're Fernandes, do you look at Spurs as a stepping stone to like Real Madrid or PSG, for example? Because if he goes there, when he used to have Daniel Levy, it was probably a sort of club that if you go to Spurs, it's so difficult to deal with Spurs. Maybe it's a bit different now that Levy's left. I don't know. But I mean, so my point I was trying to make for Jim and other people watching was it doesn't matter how much Spurs offer. It comes down to Matheus Fernandes. And Mendes wants to get paid. For sure, his agent wants to get paid. But Matheus Fernandes has all the power here. If Spurs offer 85 million, and Man United offer 80 million, it still comes down to Matheus Fernandes deciding. The question I've got is like, why would you choose if you can play with Bruno Fernandes? Right, apparently he looks up to Bruno Fernandes, and this is the player that Bruno Fernandes does speak highly of as well. And you got Champions League football. I don't know. It just seems like a strange one to go to Spurs. Like these sort of opportunities, he might well go to Real Madrid in the future. Who knows? But it just seems like a crazy option to go. And I know I will say, like Yardi said, another point that we have got De Zerbi, But again, Spurs went through 3 managers last season. There's no guarantee it's going to work out with De Zerbi. Everyone said Thomas Frank would do really well. But
Yeah.
Spurs are just unpredictable, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And, they don't have Levy anymore, right? He got sacked or he left the position. They have a new regime there. Uh, they are trying to get out the hole that they've been there, in the last few seasons. Also, who cares, BT? Don't put salt in other people's wounds, okay? And I'm good. I have AC, running, but poor Rich. Stop
I don't
provoking.
have
Stop
AC running.
provoking. Yeah.
I've been telling people I've been on ice cream, and
Oh,
I said he's been on like whiskey, I think, and I think
yeah.
ice cream might be safer in the heat than me. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, they don't have European football. Like, if they, crash out like we did with Amorim, out of the cups quite early, like they will play again one game a week. Like I think champion, despite, us, for example, signing Zlatan and Pogba in 2016 or 17 season with Europa League only, I think we can. I think we are in advantage here when it comes to signing him because we are playing Champions League football, and it will be really interesting to see how. I know agents have a lot of power, but as you said, apparently Bruno Fernandes is his. I will not say idol, but a guy he looks up to. So yeah, it will be difficult. It will be difficult to predict, but I mean, it's a no-brainer. Like, it all depends.
uh,
Like, West Ham can say, "Oh, like no one can." Like they can agree on the fee, but if he says no, he says no. To me, they are desperate as Newcastle last season, and it shows.
yeah, I agree. I mean, the only question really is going to be like, do you think Man United would spend 85 million?
No.
Because I remember I think I have to I think I have to reevaluate what I think players should cost because I remember when we started talking about transfers a couple of months ago, everybody thought Matheus Fernandes was going to be about 60 million pounds. I think we thought I know Elliot Anderson would be maybe like 100. I think that the prices have gone up probably about 20 million for each player I've talked about. The only one I'm kind of glad we got Edison done because Edison's probably like 50 million pounds now. Like the way prices are
Mm,
going up.
yeah.
So would you be happy if United, like, obviously it's not our money and people do get a bit worried about the budget, but it seems that whichever player you go for, they're going to cost way more than we thought. So
Mm.
are you happy if, do you care if the price costs more? Like, if Spurs are prepared to pay 85, shouldn't Man United be happy to pay the same?
I mean, maybe, but like I don't necessarily care. But you still need to be valiant in terms of if you can recognize they are using you or they're trying to up the price for a player that got relegated with your team. Like, I think Ineos did a solid job in terms of reevaluating the players. Like, Ederson is going to cost 30 something plus add-ons, which is a good deal in my opinion, especially if he's going to be in the squad. uh, they are, I wouldn't say they are pinching money, but even in that Mbumo, for example, situation, like, we offered, he agreed, personal terms, then they upped the price, where he Brentford, right? In the end, we kind of, you know, compromise, right? We didn't pay what they later wanted. I think they wanted like 80 something million, but in the end, we decreased the price and put some more add-ons or whatever, and in the end it kind of worked out, right? So I believe that will be the same situation, right? I think this will be the similar situation. They are trying to get money because they are getting relegated. They need money, West Ham, especially losing that TV TV money from the Premier League. But yeah,
Do you
it
think
will
it's
be
true that you have
interesting.
to spend? Do you think it's true that West Ham have to pay? I saw this yesterday. They have to pay a certain amount of money by 30th of June, which is roughly a week. And West Ham have said they don't need to do this, but other journalists are saying West Ham definitely need to balance the book somewhat. I mean, Man
Mm,
United tend to do deals around the start of July anyway. Like that seems to be something that people are
yeah.
expecting. So
Yeah.
do you think West Ham are desperate for the money? They're kind of saying they're not, and they
I
only want to sell
mean,
one big player.
look, I don't know about that situation. If there are, if reliable sources are saying yes, then maybe there is some truth in that. They can say whatever. I I doubt that they would want their fans or the public to know. Oh, we need to balance books. We need the money. Uh, and I don't think they would ever, admit it in the public. So I think there is some truth in that. If I didn't, I wasn't, following any United news or West Ham news or whatever.
I think the
So
thing,
I don't
like
know,
Jules was
but
saying, that
yeah,
this is probably it's not about how much money they owe or
yeah,
anything, but what it is about complying with the Premier League rules. And I'm not sure the specifics, but do you remember Leicester City got some points deduction last season? I'm
yeah,
imagining that would be a nightmare scenario for West Ham because
yeah.
obviously they're going to be in the Championship.
Yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah. But maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the case. I mean, but I doubt that they would admit, oh, we need money until 30th of June. But if reliable sources, reliable journalists are hinting at it, I think there is some truth there. Like as Jules said, they need to comply, right? If they don't comply, FA is they're going to punish them.
yeah, how much actually out of interest how would you feel if Man United went actually the Fernandes deal is too expensive and we switch? There's a couple of options. One is going to be Man United holding out for too many, which we'll talk about in a second. The other one is apparently Alex Scott is an option. Apparently, just a quick update on Cornetto's. No, there is one left. There is one left. Thanks for reminding me. I'm saving it for later. It's getting ridiculously hot, actually. And actually, my house is slightly colder than outside in one side of the house. But anyway, enough ice cream updates. Would you be prepared to go for Alex Scott? Like, do you think it's worth? Like, do you think he's a serious alternative option, or should Man United be pushing for someone like Tchouaméni?
That's a good question. I like Alex Scott. I'm not sure what position is he, like a number 8 or a number 6. Can he play both, or what is his true position? I'm not sure. But from what I saw of him, in Bournemouth, especially against Dance, I think he played like a number 8, right? Something like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think he's a good player. I would love to have him at United, but it all depends on how they can or he can mesh up, with other midfielders. I think that we need a solid presence in the midfield. I know Casemiro wasn't perfect, but you need to have, someone who's going to cover the ground and be physical and break up the play, but at least know how to send the balls through the lines as Casemiro did, even though he didn't have fitness or how do you say it? He could like he wasn't athletic enough, like right. I mean, he was a bit older, so you would think that. But if Carrick can do something like that, acquire him, and he thinks, oh, he's a number 6, he can play as a number 6, or he's playing as a number 6. I think that would be a good deal, but I'm not sure because I'm not sure which position he is playing. Like I think we need a proper number 6, someone who is going to be, as I said, physical and good enough to cover the ground. I mean, like Chouameni, right? With Chouameni, you know who he
Yeah,
is. You know who he
that's
is.
the
What
one
kind
that
of
I
player?
think.
Yeah,
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 when we're talking about transfers, I was doing a stream like midday today, and I said, like, Tchouaméni is the one player out there that if you drop a player into Man United's team replacing Casemiro, he's the one that's closest. I think he's
mm,
unbelievable in terms of defensive. He's got, he's a world class player. He's got unbelievable experience. And I'll just go through a couple of comments and say Helgi's saying, good evening, Helgi, to you as well. It says, I'm probably in the minority. I don't think you necessarily are, Helgi. I think a lot of people look at options and think like, for me, it's not about the money, but it is about being realistic. So I think Man United need to do significant deals like Dora alluded to earlier. We need to do a 3 midfielder transfer window as a minimum. We need to get a left back. We need to get other cover. So
yeah,
if you're looking at £80 million for a player that is young, and again, you're going to get the best years in a couple, like 2 years' time, probably. If Alex Scott is available for 60 million, and if too many is genuinely available, which might be the case, I'm looking at this and thinking, no, I said this morning, like you've got too many, And I thought at the moment, like, it might have been too many Fernandes, Mainu, Ederson. If you replace Ederson with Scott, I think it's still a really good midfield.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, this looks great, right? Is great, and you can rotate, right? We are going to play a lot of games. So in perfect world, we signed Chouameni, we have Scott, we all already apparently signed Ederson. So you have what, starting 11 of Chouameni, Menu, Fernandez, or Chouameni, Scott, Fernandez, or you could have two or three even combinations of midfielders that are going to play, that are going to be solid. Now, is this a football manager thing or something? I mean, if you look at it, right, it can happen. It can happen, but it all depends on the players and and the manager. How is he going to organize the team, and how he is going to make them buy into his vision? Because maybe Ederson wants to play in the first in the starting 11. Of course, they need to prove themselves, but Scott played for Bournemouth, almost all the time. Ederson did play for Atalanta. Chouameni is in Real Madrid. Menu played really good football for us, especially in the few months, always in the starting 11 when he was available. So there is going to be maybe some, I wouldn't say tension, but people are going to fight for their spot, which is
Competition
healthy.
is good though, isn't it? Like, a
I
bit
mean,
of
it
healthy
is healthy,
competition.
but it all depends. Like, you never know with these footballers, right? You never know how they think. That you never know how they feel. I mean, this is great, but I'm not sure that. I hope that we sign one marquee insane midfielder or a number 6, and then you have what, Matheus Fernandes or Scott and Ederson. I think that would be a great midfield overhaul. I mean, not overhaul, but still, you're bringing 3 midfielders. That's a lot. That's really a lot. And then you get rid of Ugarte, and we are all happy in the end. But yeah,
Yeah, I
it
was
will
going to say,
be
based
really
on that,
interesting.
the good thing about that one is, let me just go back to Helgi's comment because it's kind of easy to remember the names. What I was thinking with this one is the fact that you're saying there's different combinations. So you've got too many plus, maybe like too many plus main is like the obvious one. Because Edison, I think people are feeling that he's going to be more of a squad player, but again, it
You never
depends.
know. Yeah.
It gives Michael Carrick some options though, doesn't it? Because you remember like last year, it's literally like we could predict the lineup every single match. We looked at it and thought, okay, we're going to see Menu, we're going to see Casemiro, and there was
Yeah.
nothing else. Like, there's no way Ugarte starts. But this one though, I think it gives Carrick options because like, if Michael Carrick's going to be judged on how well he does in Europe plus the Premier League, you've got to have like for me, you've got to have like two pairings, like two sets of pairings that work, and
Yeah.
that's for me the minimum.
Especially with multiple competitions. Like, if we sorry, if we have, so we sign only one midfielder. We sign Ederson. Casemiro goes, Ugarte goes, and maybe because we don't have money or something happens and we cannot sign another player, we promote someone from the academy. I don't know. So you have again a situation where you need to constantly play the same midfield in 2 to 3 games a week. That's a lot. That's really a lot. So hence why I'm hopeful that Carrick is going to rotate. First of all, like I don't have a problem with not rotating your midfield if they are really good. Look at PSG, right? João Neves, Fabian Ruiz, and that kid Vitinha, right? Those are 3 insane players. They have a great midfield. In most of the cases, they always played those 3, right? They're solid, they're good, they're going to play. And you know what? Maybe if they get injured, someone slots in, blah, 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 it's good. But they're always starting. They're always on the starting 11. It's because they're so good. So I don't mind it if they are good. We had a problem last season because we didn't believe that Casemiro could play in certain matches because he was too slow. Maybe some matches weren't good for Kobe as well. I mean, Bruno had
It's
a
true. I think
historical
we probably
season. He
played
needed to
them.
play, but yeah, he couldn't rotate because he didn't have had anyone in the end.
In the end, we probably overplay. So I think the problem with last season was
Lack of
Kobe had
squad.
to play every single game. If Kobe
Yeah,
was slightly injured or Casemiro,
yeah,
and again we'd have to play them every single match because Agati was too poor. I
yeah.
think so. For me, it's about giving options because it does mean that Kobe will get a knock at some point, and it might be that too many or Scott or Edison, someone will pick up a card, someone will be injured, and it's just about having a lot of depth. And yeah,
Exactly.
someone might
Yeah.
get injured. The
I
other
mean,
thing it makes me think
yeah,
of
yeah.
is past midfield, like United need to look at left back for sure. But to ask your opinion about too many, because I've covered too many quite a bit.
I mean, he's a
And
great player.
what do you think? I said this a month ago. I just want to say, like, welcome, Cola, if you're new. It's making me very thirsty. that emoji there. What I was going to say, and big up to United for the win as well. Good to see you in chat. What is the percentage chance of Man United getting too many? About 2 or 3 weeks ago, I said it's like a 2% chance because I just think it feels too good to be true.
Mm,
And I'm seeing a few stories that I don't know. Real Madrid are unpredictable. Like they say they want to buy Elise for over 200 million. They want to buy Enzo Fernandez. I don't know that
and
if he
Julian
is available.
Alvarez and this guy and this guy, they want to buy anyone. Haaland.
No,
Yeah, yeah, they're
Haaland's like
insane.
quality. Actually,
Yeah,
he's a serious problem to teams in the in the World Cup.
yeah.
Um,
I don't
is
know.
it help?
I'm not sure. I'm not really sure, Rich. Honestly, I agree with you. 3%. If we buy him,
It
it will be a
seems like
blockbuster
unlikely,
trade.
doesn't it? When like doing YouTube and things, people get excited about things, and too many's like a world-class player,
He
and
is. Yeah.
everybody keeps sharing articles and posting articles and saying there's a chance too many could come, and I keep saying, look, like it feels a bit like someone like I don't know, like thinking, yeah, there's a chance that I can win the lottery, but I mean it's a very small chance, and I'm just
Yeah.
thinking that
Yeah.
when
You have
people
a
say
feeling.
what's the chance,
Yeah. Yeah. You have a feeling you are going to win a lottery. Then yeah. But you don't play. You
no,
don't
I
even
don't
play.
play the
Like it's
lottery.
literally this. Yeah. You don't even pay for to play in the lottery.
But I
So
was thinking that if Fernandez became if we're talking about say Fernandez go to Spurs and too many comes to Manchester United, I would be like, holy shit, what's going on? I would generally be, when people say like shock news, but it's YouTube, so shock
you
news just
know,
means that something
i-
obvious has happened. But this
this
would
would
be
look
genuinely shock.
like Angel Di Maria. When we bought Angel Di Maria, no one believed it, and all of a sudden we bought him. In the end, it didn't work out, but that those 13 games that he played for us, at the beginning of the season under Van Gaal, he was great. He was insane, but after that, he flopped. So you never know. Like I still don't believe that we are going to sign Chouameni. I mean, Mourinho loves him. Like he's his type of player. He would never let him go. And I know Rodri. Did Rodri sign for Real Madrid? Right, he did.
I think Rodri is potentially staying, isn't he? I don't think Rodri's like
Wasn't
moving. Well,
wasn't it tweeted by Fabrizio Romano that Rodri signed for Real Madrid? No, that was Bernardo Silva, right? But I think there were rumors about Rodri. I'm not sure if he got confirmed or something, but yeah, I mean, look, if they're going to sign, like I mean, Nico Paz apparently is going to come back as well. So you have so many players coming in uh, Real Madrid. So who is going to stay? you know, you never know what will happen. Maybe we get him, but I don't believe that we will. I think that he is going to stay. I think Mourinho, that he is Mourinho's type of player. He is hardworking. He is great on the ball. He's strong. He's tall. He can cover the ground, and I think if I'm Jose Mourinho, I wouldn't let him go. So
I was
I'm
just
yeah,
thinking about like I remember when Mourinho came to Chelsea, and I remember going to matches at that point. I remember going to watch United at Old Trafford, and at the time, like Mourinho had made Chelsea like nearly unbeatable with like Makaleli in the
yeah,
six, and they had like aggressive wingers like Robin, Duff, and I'm thinking with and Drogba up front. So I'm just thinking you got Mbappe up front, you got Vinicius Junior, Rafinha, no, sorry, Rafinha at Barcelona, but you got the pieces in place there. You got
yeah.
Valverde, who's world class. You got too many. I can't see Mourinho going to Real Madrid and going right. Let's get rid of too many. And apparently, he's kind of assessing the squad. It doesn't make any sense. Like
I mean, maybe the issue between him and Valverde because of that scrap, maybe that stays. But then you have Mbappe in the dressing room. Everyone is calling him dictator. So, I mean, like, who knows what is going on? Vinny Jr. His head is in the clouds. He thinks he's a leader, but he's not. So, I mean, that dressing room is a dumpster fire, right? So maybe they think, oh, maybe, I mean, Valverde is a captain, right, of the team. Maybe he doesn't want him there. Or maybe they, squashed the beef because he literally went to hospital because of him. I think that is the only case why he doesn't stay, because of his, because of the problems in the locker room with Federico Valverde, right? I mean, we don't know what is happening, but the press, I mean, that was legit, right? So maybe because of
Yeah,
it.
I think Real Madrid like crushed the story pretty quickly, didn't they? Because they kind of like silenced things quite quick. But there was definitely
I
is
mean,
kicking off between Valverde and
yeah,
Tchouaméni for
yeah,
sure.
for sure, yeah.
But,
I don't believe.
we
I
like
still don't believe that we are going to sign him. Honestly, I think we are. So I know that you're going to say, who are we going to sign? I think we signed Ederson. I think we are going to get Fernandez and another midfielder. I don't know who that will be, but is it going to be, if it's Scott? I will take him in a heartbeat. I think he's a great player, Alex Scott. But yeah, since Iraola is in Liverpool, I think he would want Alex Scott in his team. So I don't know. Maybe that's not so, set in stone for him to come United. Maybe he wants Liverpool because of his ex-manager. So we will see.
What do you reckon? Just a random question. What do you think is going to be? Say we sign 3 midfielders. I think most people think we're going to sign 3 in total.
Yeah.
Who do you think we end up with at the moment? Because Matheus Fernandes is the story that we've been talking about for a long time. I saw this tonight saying that you got Wharton, Belieber
Oh,
on the
Wharton
radar
is a
as
good
well.
shout.
I mean, I'd forgotten about Belieber. Wharton, I think, is a bit underrated by a few people. He's
Yeah,
a
because
quality player.
apparently he doesn't have fitness to run like Baleba, but then again, Baleba wasn't particularly good last season. People say, oh, you're exaggerating, he was injured, blah, blah, but he didn't, like, after injury, he didn't.
Wharton might have the passing, though, that Casemiro had. I think Wharton's, like, his passing is
Wharton is
very good.
better. I think Wharton is really good. I think Wharton is really good with his passing. His only issue is his fitness, in my opinion. And will
Yeah,
he
I
able
agree.
to physicality, and will he able to cover the ground that we need, especially behind Kobe or someone else and
He's
Bruno
quite good
Fernandes.
defensively, actually. If you look at Wharton, like defensively, he does like good work. Like his dual win percentage very high. I think you're right though in terms of like mobility. It's a bit questionable because I think we looked at Anderson. Obviously, he covers the ground extremely well. I think
Yeah.
Angela Stillett is also mentioned as another player. I think Carlos Belieber. I've heard nothing
I
of
mean,
Belieber for ages, so I don't know.
yeah, maybe die down, but I mean, he has the potential, right? He's big, he's strong, he can run, but is he disciplined enough? From what I saw of him, he's a bit aggressive when it comes to tackling and all that. You those are young players, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind Baleba, right? If the club believes and the scouts and the manager believe that he has the potential to be really good for us, why not, right? But I would love to have someone who is ready, right? Who who proved themselves already in some type of way, right? I know people are saying, oh, but Fernandez didn't do, he maybe didn't, prove himself, but he played really well. Like, he fits immediately what United need, right? So I don't know. It's a difficult question, right? It's a difficult question, but yeah, maybe Baleba is a good option too. I mean, we've been chasing this guy or looking into this guy for a last year or so, I would say, since last summer window. So yeah, maybe the club is monitoring the situation. Baleba. If I remember correctly, Baleba wanted to come to United last season already, but the club, Brighton, I think asked insane amounts of money. So this is this is a scary part, right? Brighton will have insane price tag on him unless he's at the end of his contract. So yeah, but Wharton is good. Well, Wharton is good as well. It's the fitness issues for me in his case. So it's really hard to pick. It's really
Yeah,
hard to pick.
Jill says, is there any chance Fernandez is a ploy to lower the believer price? At the moment, I have no idea what a believer price would be, but the only club interested in believer seems to be Man United.
Yeah,
And Brighton, I mean,
they are insane.
yeah, if Brighton don't sell believer to Man United, then I don't think believer's going to go anywhere.
Yeah,
So it's up to Brighton,
and
really.
the price tag is going to be. I mean, unless United says, look, last season he wasn't playing that well, he was injured, blah blah blah. Maybe they have a good argument to lower his price, but will they do anything about it? I doubt it. I doubt it.
I don't know. Debastis says Fernandez is not going to Spurs. He's quite certain, he says. Again, I think someone actually in the chat, I think it might have been Yarley, said that a lot of people think Fernandez is a done deal to Man United. I'm not sure because I don't know because with Man United, all the news is it seems to be coming out from journalists and from agents, and I don't think United are really pushing it apart from saying that they want to get Tchouaméni or they want to get Anderson. I'm not sure. So are you as confident as Debassis is? I think he thinks Man United Fernandez is a done deal. I think a few
I
people do
think
think it's a done deal.
I think the World Cup, if World Cup isn't here, I think we would see, or isn't happening, I think we would see signings of Ederson and Fernandez already, 1st of July. Hello guys, hello fans, United fans, we signed Mateus Fernandez and Ederson. But since there is World Cup, right? I think everything is so slow, you need to
Yeah, I
like
was
they're a
thinking
little,
that
yeah,
is it
unless
just Man
they get
United
out.
that's slow, or do Man United just get talked about more? Do you think?
I think that's a good argument. United,
I think we
are
are
always in
slow,
the news.
but
And I mean, maybe, but last season we signed Cunha immediately, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think very fast. And then it kind of got prolonged with Mbumo. It was a month. Sheshko deal was kind of the same, but Newcastle was battling it, blah blah blah. And then in the last few days we signed Lamens. So that those are 4 players, right? So it you can have an argument. Oh, United are slow. Are slow. Maybe they are. Maybe they are.
I was
But
thinking the same sort of
we
thing.
did
That
address 3 attacking positions that summer window and a goalkeeper place. So, I mean, it was good in the end because all of those 4 signings, they were good for us. So I'm interested to see how will everything work out with, the likes of Rashford, and if Ugarte is going to leave, and so it will be like we need to see outgoings as well. So it's really hard to predict because World Cup is still going on. It's still in early group stages. I think we are going to have even slower, in my opinion, announcements this season. If I'm being honest with you, maybe not Fernandez. He's not at the World Cup, but still, who knows?
one of the things as well. This is kind of a general question or sort of thing that people have noticed. Like United are saying too many, more like 6 to 8 hybrids in terms of players we're looking at. Sangare, who I don't know as much about Sangare, but people that watch him are saying again, sort of kind of similar. Bawardi looked really
Yeah,
good in the World Cup. I don't know if you've seen him play.
yeah,
I didn't watch the Scotland game because it was a bit late, but I did
yeah,
watch the Brazil game and thought he was top quality in that match.
yeah,
But
yeah.
do you think United have got? It looks like we're trying to go for players that are not, no, not 100% sixes, but we are looking for people that offer a bit more than that one. So I think like too many Sangare, Buwadi. I don't hear much about those players, but I think they're definitely players we should consider. Like, I don't think we're going to buy one of these players, but it's a shame we're not going to because I think they would be quite good value considering how much players in the Premier League are costing.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. Maybe prefer homegrown players. Maybe they need to fill up. I don't know what's the situation right now, but
The same with like homegrown players, and I think that makes sense regarding Alex Scott, for example. But
yeah,
Matheus Fernandes is French anyway, so I think with Buwadi, I was trying to talk to like G Wolf about Boadi, and you know how he's kind of got his quite strong opinions, but he
Yeah.
watched the Brazil game, and I think the Brazil game was perfect because you got Boadi versus Casemiro, who
Mm,
effectively we're trying to replace, but also Bruno Guimaraes, who is considered one of the better Premier League midfielders and
hmm.
players that we like. And I think Boadi outshone those players in that game because Casemiro got benched at halftime
Yeah.
and Brazil was struggling. But do you think this is kind of as well? Do you think Man United are we don't know yet because we haven't signed players, but do you think we're going to be looking too much just in the Premier League? Obviously, if you got too many, that kind of blows it out of the water
Yeah.
if you get Angela Stiller. But do you think that the links to the Premier League are accurate, or do you think we will maybe surprise people and go for non-Premier League players?
I mean, Ederson is from Atalanta, right? So it's
Yeah,
possible.
that's a good point actually. So number
Yeah.
one's done. So that's why I'm thinking like two and three might be Premier League based,
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
although too many is
Especially
not.
if,
So
yeah, but
my theory's already
yeah.
falling apart.
But yeah, especially if you think about it, right? Especially if, you know, the club feels that he is more of a squad player than a starting 11 player, right? So that makes
Yeah, that's
sense.
true.
And now you need starting 11 players that are going to essentially, jump in instead of Meno when he's not fit or injured, or we need rotations, and Casemiro, who is effectively gone right from United. So you need experience in that midfield, and if that experience means, Mateus Fernandes played a really good season at West Ham. He was one of the better midfielders, especially in the last few months of the season. I think they will look at it and say, "Oh, he has a potential. I think we should get him. Not just for the short term, but for the long term as well." So it will be interesting. It will be really interesting to see how club handles it. Like, I'm not opposed to us looking into other leagues. I mean, it's not like we need to, but is he Premier League ready? Like, you don't know. We can sign Alex Scott tomorrow, and all of a sudden he's shit after you know, like we signed Mason
Do you know what I
Mount,
was thinking? That
like, and
you
he's
can
been
pick a player,
awful.
Dora. You can pick any player that we're linked to, and they'll probably be like unbelievable, like positive press about certain players. As soon as Man United sign one of these players, there will
Yeah,
suddenly be some negative stuff. Do you remember when Cunha signed and people said, "Oh, Cunha walks a lot"? I was just thinking that one of the things that JSN and United Side Die and a few people have pointed out is a lot of the players we're linked to, whether it's like Fernandez or it's like say Alex Scott. I think the ones we talked about too many and Buardi, etc. They're players
hmm,
that can stop the opposition, a bit like Declan Rice. They can put in the tackle, they can win back the ball, but also they drive the ball forward. They're going to be, for me, they're going to be the sort of players that they're not one dimensional. It's not like an Agate where Agate on the ball is about as useful as like myself in a Man United team. Like you
yeah,
want some quality, don't you? So I think
yeah,
what we're looking at is people that are going to be like, if you're playing in the six, they're going to be that they're going to be good, but they're going to be more than that. They're going to be people that are going to be happy, kind of like driving towards the opposition. And I think that's going to be like these players linked. I think it makes Man United a more dynamic team. Like we got
yeah,
Sangare, Bawadi. They're going to be able to do what Casemiro does defensively, I feel, but they're going to be like Casemiro's got the range of passing, but Casemiro is not going to drive with the ball as athletically as he. Like he's not going to be able to go up and down as much as Bawadi, Fernandez, these sort of thing as well. So for me, it's about getting quality, but the work rate is something that you got as well. Like Dog has got the work rate, but I think with some of these players we're talking about, they've got more than just that. They're not just athletes; they're actually quality on the ball.
yeah. Great. Yeah, we need both. Like, I really love Casemiro, especially this season, because him and Bruno Fernandes connected from the set pieces, especially. I would love if hence why you need to have physical midfield in some cases, especially a six. Someone who is good in the air. You know, not just in the midfield, but in the opposing box as well. When it comes to set pieces, I think we were really good in that aspect, and I think we should continue it. But yeah, I agree. I think that we need someone who all around is really good, and someone said hybrid midfield. I mean, this is modern game, right?
Yeah,
One-dimensional players are not succeeding in the modern
I
game.
think it suits what Man United want to do as well because Man United are not. We're not a slow. We're actually quite. I think we're. I think our strength is actually in transition. That's kind of our
Yeah,
strength when we win the ball back. And under Michael Carrick, I think Michael Carrick is better than say, Ten Hag and Ruben Amorim in terms of like the amount of goals we're scoring in half the season and the amount of you could watch maybe the last few games, like the game against say Forest, where every time we win the ball back, we're very fast, going forward fast. I think if anything, like Buwadi and Sangare and some like Tchouaméni, I think they enable us to do what we're doing the end of last season, but just do it more reliably and maybe like Casemiro can't do it the whole match, but
Yeah.
also all these players we're talking about, they can do twice. They can do it twice a week anyway. We're talking about squad rotation. Sangare, Bawadi, they can play twice a week, no problem. Like we're going to have a more athletic squad, I think, if we get some of these players in.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And I think we need that, especially. I think the last season showcased that someone like Mbu is athletic and physical, Cunha is athletic and physical, can move with the ball. Sheshko is, he kind of improved because he's still young, right? He kind of improved, and this is a new league for him. He kind of improved, especially with, we knew that he was tall, that he was good with his speed, but he improved his physicality as well. I think we are definitely going to put that in consideration, especially when signing a midfielder. And also I would argue we don't, under Carrick especially, it's not just the transition, right? I think we were slightly better in terms of playing in small spaces, 1-2 touches, which was a great improvement, especially after Amorim, who insisted on going wide to the players who cannot dribble. But yeah,
The team shape looked better, didn't it? It looked like there was more passing options on under Carrick. Like
yes,
there was a bit more
yes,
compact. The players were closer together. I think the City game was a good example where lots of little passing triangles on the pitch. And
yeah,
I think with this one that you need, right, some of these players are talking about. When I was watching Buwadi versus Brazil, when he got closed down, he was quite, he was finding the little space, he was finding the free man and getting out of trouble. And I think that's what we're looking at. Big up to Daz in the chat who says he's only going to go there if he wants to and has no ambition. This is Fernandes to Spurs. Yeah, I mean, it's probably that's probably accurate. Spurs do
yeah,
get players though. Big up to Rob as well. So slice the best side basis, it's critical we get a left back. Yeah, the players I
yeah.
was talking about just now saying that they can play twice a week. Luke Shaw does not fit into the twice a week category. I'd be
I
surprised if he
hope,
starts that
Rich, I
much.
hope the rumors of Lewis Hall, having a falling out with Eddie Howe are true, and then he wants to leave. I hope that's true. Like I would get him in a minute, like immediately. Just take my left hand, please, for him, so I don't have to see Luke Shaw. Look, he played okay last season, but still, we need to look for someone else. He's been here for far too long. We need someone else there. So
Luke
hopefully
Shaw
we've
feels a
signed
bit like
him.
that Duracell advert where you have like a Duracell battery and you buy Alex Telles and Alex Telles kind of breaks down and disappears. You get Regulon, he goes, you get Amrabat, and it's
Yeah,
like it feels like Man United have kind of like half-heartedly tried to get some left backs in, but you got to go and get someone in as well. Andy says he agrees that the type of midfield we're looking at for too many is a six, but gives you a lot going forward. But again, it makes Man United, all these players we're talking about, I think it makes us harder to play against. It's not an exciting topic, but if Bath Thomas still in the chat and we mentioned winning second balls, winning duels, he loves that sort of thing. And I think that's
yeah,
something that Man United are looking at as well, that it makes it more difficult to play against. I
yeah,
mean, it's good one thing having technical players, but you need the work ethic as well, don't you?
definitely, yeah.
So if anyone's got any comments or questions, like I said, we're going to be live for about another 10 minutes. It's becoming a bit like a sauna. I've got like no lights on here, but it's
Oh my
there's obviously
god.
a stomach.
Oh my, I wouldn't be in your skin right now.
Yeah, I've got ice cream planned and a bit of outdoor sitting down before the England game
Don't you have
because
AC? Don't you have AC in your
no, I don't have
house?
AC.
Oh God, is this, typical British house doesn't have, it's made for, cold weather, not for
No,
hot
the other
weather.
thing is that it's quite a new house, and the
Yeah.
thing with British houses is there's loads of insulations. It's literally it
Oh
doesn't
my
lose
God.
heat. Welcome to the chat, Omar. He says, I think Fernandez says he wants Man United. It'd be quite nice for Fernandez. It could be quite nice because of. Do you remember last year, Dora? I was doing some
Mm,
streams about Sesko, and loads of
mhm.
Newcastle fans got in the chat. This was like one day before we signed him, and loads of fans were in there saying, "You're talking nonsense. We bid more for Sesko, blah 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 blah." And I was
Who
just thinking the
cares?
same sort of thing. But I don't know any Spurs fans. But do you think Spurs fans are going to be confident they're going to get Fernandes, or
I
because
mean,
I still
maybe.
think Fernandes will be
Who did they sign besides Van de Hecke?
no one. I don't think they've got anybody.
I mean, they're looking at Tonali as well. I saw that. So they're looking at everyone, you know.
Yes, Spurs are, at the moment. Spurs are just putting offers in that aren't accepted. I think they bid 75 million for Tonali, but it's not going to get accepted, is it?
They will have, you know, I think Newcastle are going to look for 90 to 95, I would argue, because I mean that's their star player. So I don't believe that they're going to accept 75. But even if they accept, right, West Ham, Spurs over. I mean, he doesn't have to agree, and that is, remember, as I said, Mbuma situation. We, I think Newcastle as well. I think they did bid for Mbumo at one point. Brentford, he agreed personal terms. Brentford increased the price. We said, what the hell are you doing? We agreed on this, blah, blah, blah. A few weeks later, compromise, and Boom was signed for United, and all of a sudden, the price was less, but I think we added some add-ons in his contract. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there
But
was
in the
like
end,
it
it
was
worked
about
out.
6 add-ons. I think in the end we'd have paid them all because we got Champions League football, so
Yeah,
it kind of
definitely.
paid for itself.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm not bothered with add-ons. I don't care, right? Like I'm looking at the base fee, because add-ons you pay throughout the season or over the years, if you meet those goals, right. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm quite confident if you're going to sign Fernandez. Maybe maybe we in the end go for Baleba or.
How much do you reckon? Okay, if we get Fernandes, how much do you reckon we'll end up paying? Because just because 85 is put out there, it doesn't mean
I think United are
we'll
willing
pay
to
that.
around 60 something plus add-ons that will in the end, I look, Rich, I don't believe that he is more expensive than Brian Mbumo, in all honesty. And we paid what for Mbumo? Around 70 in the end with add-ons or something like that, maybe a bit more.
Yeah,
I don't
it was
believe
something
this
like
guy. I mean,
yeah.
He is a Premier League proven player who played really good, for Brentford over the years. Like this guy, he's young. He played really well last season. Someone argue half of season, and they're relegated. I don't believe that is the case here. Like, honestly, I think it will. I will be very surprised if United agree on 85 million pounds price tag, because I don't believe they believe he's worth that. I think that we are going to push for less money, that's for sure, with add-ons, because we are playing in the Champions League, as you said. Maybe some appearance fees, maybe some this and that. As you said, agents are in the play.
I was
Jorge
thinking,
Mendes is
I was
his
thinking, like
agent.
with Fernandez, I thought if they want 85, when I first heard it, I thought, okay, that's ridiculous. They bought him for 40 a year ago. And I was thinking, okay, the market's obviously quite buoyant. But I was thinking with like Fernandez, I thought 60 would get the deal done. And now I've kind of thought, okay, maybe 65 plus some add-ons. But 85 just feels crazy. Like
It's too much
depending
for
on
a
how
player
much they cost.
that got relegated. It's too much. Like, it's insane. Like, maybe in the chat, maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I don't remember. Maybe I didn't see. If Can someone in the chat tell me which player was the most expensive one from the relegated team? Because I cannot, I cannot remember right now. But because this is too much.
There's no one close to Fernandez for that sort of money. Like no
No
one's ever cost
way.
85 million.
I don't know if Rafinha signed
Well,
for
Lavia, how much
Barcelona.
was Lavia? 58 million for Lavia.
Yeah. And did Rafinha sign for Barcelona after Leeds got relegated? But it wasn't insane money, because Barcelona are lowballing everyone because they don't have money. So I'm not sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know actually. But I suppose the difficulty is that he's obviously not cheap. They paid 40 for him, so I was thinking it could be like 60, but no, I don't think so.
I think 60, 65 is the highest United are going to go, and that's too much for this guy, in my opinion.
Big up to Jeff in the chat as well. Good to see you, Jeff. A bit of an audio
Hi.
stream tonight. I didn't realize that. I know. I think Cristiano Ronaldo's got a couple of goals tonight, but they're playing
Yeah.
against Uzbekistan. I'm not really surprised that. Again, there's going to be someone who's going to get. Who do you think is going to get the golden boot, and who's impressed you the most, Dora? We haven't really spoke about the World Cup.
Uh, I mean, Mbappe is Mr. World Cup right now. Kane is playing really well. Messi is playing really well. It's just, I mean, I think Messi is playing much better than Ronaldo. You know, he is a bit younger, and I think he's a better player right now. But it just feels like Argentina are playing constantly to him. And I don't know if that is going to work against a harder team. We will see. I mean, he scored 5 in 2 games. That's a lot. Who else?
I've been quite impressed by Norway. Actually, I think Norway, France is the game I'm looking forward to because I want to see how Haaland and Mbappe do
Yeah.
against better opposition. So that's going to be a good group game.
Yeah, Haaland as well, yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, Haaland's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, he's an animal.
So we know about
Uh,
Haaland. I know people don't rate him, but Haaland, I thought actually the last game, Haaland does a beautiful knockdown to Odegaard. Really, I think Haaland's will. Like, I know he's a Man City player, but I think Haaland's just like one of the best players in world football in terms of like the team, whatever team he's in. I just get the feeling he's going to score. Like, do you know what I mean? He just seems to be in the right place, the right time, and like, even when teams and sometimes the goal he scored last night, it's like the goalkeeper just like they just mess up and the ball just drops to him. It's just like he's always there.
yeah, he's really good. His awareness is insane. But I don't know who is going to get a golden boot. I think it's either Mbappe or Kane in the end. I think it's Kane or Mbappe. So yeah, that's my opinion. Like maybe like Haaland, I don't believe that they're going to go through France, for example. So I don't know. Maybe we get a surprise. I'm trying to think. I mean, Netherlands looked good against Sweden, so maybe there's hope there. Who scored for them? It
Actually,
was
I was
not.
going to say that that's one where I'll just say this quickly. Somerville
Yeah,
looks
he's
quite
really
good for
good.
Netherlands,
Oh God,
but
he's really
do you
good.
rate him because he's been linked to Man United again? He's
I
there
rate him.
annoyingly at West Ham. How much did you pay for Somerville?
Tough question, Rich. I
He cost
mean,
about 30 a year ago. I don't know. Do you think it's a good option? Because that's the only thing
oh,
just
definitely.
people watching. We're going to wrap up in like 1 minute. So if you've got a final question, we're going to have to get some ice cream. And like, Dora's got aircon actually, so she's cheating.
Yeah, I'm cheating. I'm chilling. Yeah, I don't. I really like him as a player. I think he's really good. I think like all the respect to Amad Diallo, like I think that this guy is more physical. I think he's more tricky. Uh, but I don't believe that we are going to sign another right winger, Rich. Like we have Mbuma and Diallo. Like there is no way in hell we are going to sign anyone else. And if we don't get rid of Mason Mount, who can go there as well, play there as well. So
We
I
can
don't.
put Dorgu. Dorgu plays the right wing for his country, so we got like literally too many options there.
Yeah,
Final question for me, Dora, and
yeah.
then we might be able to set a record and actually do an even podcast less than an hour. Final question, okay? Man United signed 2 more midfielders. Who do you think they're going to be?
Sorry, can you repeat? Sorry, I wasn't concentrated. Can you repeat?
We
Sorry.
got we got we got Edison. 2 more midfielders. Who do we
Uh-huh.
sign? Who do you think?
Oh, tough one. I think we are going to sign Fernandez, and I'm actually debating between Wharton and or Baleba. I think, as we discussed earlier, we signed Ederson from Italian league. I don't believe that we are going to look for other midfielders outside the Premier League. I think both of us go to that conclusion. I don't think Fernandez is going to choose Spurs. Uh, there is a reason why we monitor Baleba so much. I think the board likes him, scouts like him. There is a huge possibility of him as well, but for much lesser price. And Wharton is an option. To me, I think he's a good player, and I think he should have gone to the English squad at the World Cup. I think he's very good on the ball. I mean, he's still young. He can work on his physicality. But I don't know. I think it's Fernandes and Baleba in the end for United. And I would be okay with it, honestly, Rich. I would be okay with it. Yeah. Because at least we would have squad and better players in the midfield or options than someone like Ugarte or some of the youngsters that are just not ready to play in the first team of Manchester United.
Yeah, Mackay says it'll be Matheus Fernandes and Sangare. I'm not sure. I think I kind of change my mind every day. It feels like we might get. It feels like Matheus Fernandes. I think we're going to find out quite soon. I wouldn't be surprised if we get him. I still keep saying this. Too many. I've gone up from 3% to 4%. I still don't think it's going to happen, guys. I just can't say anything more positive than that one.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah.
But Dora, good luck tonight, and
hopefully we win.
You're gonna win tonight, aren't you? And I think England.
I mean, if we don't, then I mean, just fold the whole team, fold the whole country. Yeah, I think it will be 2-0 or something in the end. I wouldn't be surprised if we concede a potato goal, but I think it will be 2-0 for you, Croatia. Yeah, against Panama, by the way.
Dora has to go, Jeff, when it's like 1,000 degrees. It feels like I'm inside the sun.
Yes, poor Rich is melting literally.
Literally melting. What I might do though is there will be a watch along starting, I think, in about 25 minutes. G-Wolf's going to cover the England match. G-Wolf did cover a match last night, which had a rain delay for about 2 hours. I'm not sure what he did for 2 hours, but he did cover that one.
Oh
but I'm going to be live tomorrow evening. What I might do is don't start hyping up Panama.
Yeah.
Dora's not going to accept anything less than like a 4 or 5-0. Like Modric hat trick. He's got to.
Oh yeah. If you can run from one, okay. I will not hate on my players. Okay. But yeah, at least 2-0. At least 2-0. I'm not asking for much.
I might start a bit later because of like Dora coming on tonight. We said like 7 to 8 p.m. was our window. Maybe I'll do 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. I don't know. But this World Cup's just a bit inconvenient for content because there's a game. I said this, Dora. Most World Cups in the past, if I've been able to, I've watched almost every game. This one, though, I've just given up. It's literally impossible. I'm not staying up past like 1 a.m. to watch 2 teams that are not my team. It's just too hard.
Yeah. If I'm not Croatian, like I would literally never watch this game. Like, because I get guilty if I don't watch it because I cannot wake up and say, oh, it was this, right? So it was this result. So this is
no, Dora. This is what I've been doing. I wake up in the morning and I go to ITVX on YouTube because they don't put the score on the thumbnails. They don't put the score in the description. And I just watch games. I just don't switch to my phone because social media ruins it. I just watch the game without knowing the score. And I just go, it's a bit like the 90s, like where you don't know, there's no information. I don't put it on my phone. I just put my TV onto YouTube, watch like 10-minute highlights and watch the games that way. It's literally, I just don't have enough time to watch all the matches.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
But Scott says he used to watch you on She Devils United. So that must be like a few years ago.
Oh God, many at this point. Oof, many. Andy, don't be rude. We are not that old. Check your info. Okay. Just because
Modric, hopefully, Dora, we can like get you back on soon, and hopefully something would have happened in like a week or two's time or something. There'll be some.
Yeah, we will see. We will see because I'm actually trying to set up my own channel for Croatian games, but I freaked it, But yeah, I'm trying to do that. But yeah, we will see. But if you need someone, just contact me, and I will do my best. Hopefully, it's not this hot. I mean, it will be probably July or end of June. So
yeah. Jeff, keep pushing out that content because we need to get the Ugarte hype going. Like we need to add money onto him because at the moment he's worth about 10 quid. We need to push that price up, I think, for Ugarte.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
big up to you, Dora. Also, Mikayu, thank you for getting the chat. So it
No.
looks to be boiling. Yeah, maybe having a background in the red. My face is looking a bit red. It is. I am pretty hot actually. I've drunk like liters of water today.
Yeah.
Um,
As you should.
as it should, as sensible, and ice cream. But big up to you, Dora. Good luck tonight. I probably won't be staying up to watch Croatia, but I will watch it tomorrow
It's
morning.
only
And
us. No one else is going to watch it. Only us. Croatians.
no, exactly. I know nothing about Panama apart
Oh
from it's
God,
got a
me.
canal. I don't know
Yeah.
a single player, but
Yeah.
I'll pretend to be an expert in like a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah.
Big up to Dora, big up to everybody watching, and we'll catch you guys. Actually, G Wolf is going to be live in about 20 minutes on this channel, so please tune in then, and we'll
Yeah.
see you guys tomorrow.